I'm going to call this the Ashtanga Primary Series Modified Sequence. So today, all we're going to do is actually practice together. So all those variations that we talked about in the last video, I'll work through them a little bit, kind of more like if you were in a class. I'll show you the variation, maybe a second variation, and then the full pose. You should have with you your strap if you have one. Definitely going to need this, and your blocks, but I'm going to show you the variations without the blocks for a lot of these, and really it's fine if you don't have any blocks. It's probably easier to do it without the blocks anyway. So when you join a real Ashtanga teacher for a practice, they don't really do a lot of talking. You just practice alongside them, and you imitate as much as possible, and eventually you start to become independent, and you start doing the full poses, and then they might turn to you and say, oh, turn your hand a little bit this way so that you don't get hurt, or whatever. So really, your job for the next few months with this particular video is just to copy as best as you can. You don't need to look like anything in particular, you just need to go for the pose. So, as David Swenson likes to say, the person who's attempting the pose is getting a lot more work and a lot more benefit than the person doing the pose. So, just be with your body, remember the difference between strain, stretching, and pain. No pain. Anything hurts, you back off immediately. Recently I had a thing with my shoulder and I had to really back off from it, and tell you, it's very frustrating, but it's good. So this should take about an hour to get through. Any questions you have, go back to the video before this one, because I'm not going to talk too much about each pose. So we're going to do 3 Surya Namaskar A, 2 Surya Namaskar B, and then jump right into the fundamentals. And then the primary sequence, we're not going to do all the poses, we're just going to touch on a few that should keep you busy for a while. Then we will do the closing sequence, and that's it. You should be nice and sore tomorrow morning when you wake up. If anything gets a little too tiring for you, hit pause, go into child's pose. When you've collected your breath, restart and just jump right back in. So unlike a real class, you can't pause and do this on your own time. So there's no, as I like to say to my friend, there's no heroes in yoga. Just do what you can do and back off where you can't, and don't worry about it. So here we go. Surya Namaskar A, remember your variations. I'm going to show you a little bit about the jumping, but you don't have to. Step, jump, hop, walk, doesn't matter. We begin in Tadasana with your hands at your heart. Practice your Ujjayi breath. And we begin. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to your fingertips. Look up. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower to chaturanga. Inhale, look up. Up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths here. Breathe with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look between your hands and let's walk this one. Feet between your hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Remember, your hands can be anywhere. And then inhale, come up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths here. And while you count your own breaths, you can come to your toes. And you can bend one knee, straighten the other. Inhale, do the other. So you're just walking out your legs, stretching them, warming up, teaching your heels to come towards the mat. Inhale, look up. You're going to take one big step this time. Inhale to your fingertips. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We're going to try the jump this time. Don't have to do it, but give it a shot. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bend your knees. Place both your hands on the floor, looking slightly ahead. You're going to put your weight into your hands and just hop back. Plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, look up. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths. On your 5th, look up, and we're going to hop again. And you're going to hop your feet to right between your hands. Inhale. Straighten your legs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Stay here for a second, catch your breath. That little hop, you can practice that. You don't have to do it. But for right now, every once in a while, try one in your sun salutations. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, bend your knees, reach up, Utkatasana, fierce warrior. Exhale, fold forward, straight legs. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot forward. Warrior 1. Exhale, back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Virabhadrasana, warrior. Exhale to plank. You can take an inhale here, and then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up, and you're going to step forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll try this one with the jump too. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, we're going to hop back, so weight into your hands. Bend your knees, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot forward. Virabhadrasana. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Warrior 1. Exhale. You can take a breath here in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Get comfortable. Can work out your legs again. Can drop down to child's pose if you'd like. This time try tucking your chin all the way to your collarbone. Stretch your shoulders. Stretch your back. And on your 5th breath, we're going to hop forward again. So look where you're jumping. Inhale, straight legs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale. Hands to your hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Gonna hook your fingers around your big toes. Inhale, straight arms, straight legs. Exhale, fold forward. If your legs aren't straight, you still want to grab your toes. They can be bent, and then you work towards straightening them. This is one of the few poses where you're going to grab first and work to straighten. You're going to look at a spot right between your feet and work your way down toward it. I'm not pulling with my hands so much as I'm folding. I'm thinking of pressing my head towards the mat. Inhale, straight arms. Padahastasana. Hands go under your feet. Same thing. Your knees can be bent, and you work towards straightening. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. This time I'm looking between my legs to the wall behind me, and I'm pressing my head down toward the mat. 5 breaths. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale. Exhale, jump your feet together. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale, your right foot back. Remember, knees and toes go the same direction. Right foot faces the back. Left foot faces a 45-degree angle. Inhale, your arms out. Exhale, pressing your right hip towards your left. Reach as far as you can, and then you can put your hand anywhere on your leg except your knee, eventually reaching the floor, hooking your fingers through your toes. Look up at your hand, open your chest, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring yourself up straight again. You're just going to switch your feet. So now your left is facing the top, left hip is shooting towards the right. Reach down with your left hand. Anywhere on your leg is okay. Your hand faces the wall where your chest is facing. Reach for your toes. If you had a block, you could put the block on the inside. Looking up at your hand, 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Bring yourself up, your legs straight. Now we're going to swap both feet. So your feet are now hip width apart. Your right toes are facing the back. Your left toes are almost facing backwards as well. Right hand onto your tailbone. Left arm goes up. Inhale, look up. Exhale. You're going to feel yourself with your right hand. Fold straight forward. From here, you can either reach for a block or your leg. Ultimately, you're going to bring your hand to the outside of the mat. You're going to twist the other way. Pavarita Trikonasana. Revolved triangle. Same pose, just twisted. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look down first, Then bring yourself up straight. Hands to your hips. Turn to the other side of your mat, to the front. Left hand on your tailbone, right arm goes up. Inhale, reach forward as far as you can. And again, anywhere on your leg is fine, on your foot, but ultimately you're going to reach to the outside. Straight arm, straight leg. Inhale. 5 breaths. 2. 3. 4. 5. Look down. Bring yourself up straight. Turn to the side. Stretch, 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 stretch. And then inhale to the top of your mat. Samastitihi. Inhale. Utthita Padahastasana. Inhale. First variation is to bring your elbow to your knee. Arm over your head. Look up. Do 3 breaths here. If that's easy, we can move on to the next pose. If not, stay here for 3 more breaths. Otherwise, bring your hand down to the mat or a block, but looking up at your hand. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring yourself up. Switch your feet. And now to your left knee. Inhale, 3 breaths. Whatever you did on the other side is what you're going to do here. No exceptions. So if you tried the full pose, try it here as well. Bring yourself down. Four, 5. Inhale. Change your feet again. Every time we twist a pose, your back leg is going to be turned more to match your front foot. Inhale. This time your left arm goes up. Your right hand is on your hip. You're going to bend your right knee. It's a lunge. But this time you're going to twist your left arm over your right leg. Prayer. Press your hands tight together. That's where the strength of this pose comes. And the back leg. 2, 3. If that's comfortable, you can reach down and reach overhead. Looking at the palm of your hand. 3 breaths. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Same thing. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale. Across your left knee to the outside, so you're twisted now. Whoop. Sometimes the floor is wobbly. Inhale, look up. After 3 breaths, you can reach down your right hand. Again, whatever you did on the other side, you're going to do here. Exhale. Bring yourself up with an inhale. Stretch, 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 stretch. Inhale to the top of the mat. Now I'm going to do this the opposite from you so that you can see the pose. You're going to step back with your right foot. I'm going to step back with my left. So we're going to mirror for a minute here. Hands to your hips. My feet are pointed inward just a little bit, but when you look at them, they look like they're straight. It should feel to you like your ankles are kicking out to your heels are kicking out to the sides of the mat. The trick is to have your feet far enough apart that you can do these poses. So inhale, look up. Exhale, folding forward at your hips, lead with your chest. Hands placed on the mat, hopefully even with your heels or slightly behind. Inhale, come to your fingertips. Exhale, fold forward. And you're going to press the mat towards your head. That will help you go deeper. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Let's stay here for a second. Place your hands on your hips. Press your elbows toward each other. You're still looking at the wall behind you. Just breathe. Good. Inhale, tuck your chin against your collarbone. Inhale, come up. Stay there for a second. Then reach your arms forward. Turn, swim them back. Clasp your hands together. This is the one. Be gentle with your shoulders, please. Inhale, look up. Exhale again, lead with your chest. And you're going to bring your arms over your head. Looking at the wall behind you. 5 breaths. You can switch your hands. Give your other shoulder. Good. Inhale, tuck your chin, come on up. Keep your chin tucked if you get a little lightheaded. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take your hands, slide them down your legs. Reach for your toes. Again, hook your fingers in your toes. Do not rest with your thumbs on the mat. Tuck them up and in. Inhale, look up, straight back, straight arms, straight legs. Exhale, fold forward. Make a square out of your shoulders. Head to the mat, and if not, let it dangle and look at the wall behind you. 5 breaths. 5. Inhale. Straighten your arms. If you can, place your hands on the mat. Let your back relax for a second. Straight arms. Shimmy your feet in a little bit. Inhale. Bring yourself up. Open nice and wide. And back to the top of the mat. Padahastasana, intense chest stretch. So the variation, as you'll remember, was to grasp your elbows like that. Stay there, but if you want to try to do the reverse prayer, bring your arms around, meet your fingertips first, and then push them up. Work your hands up, up, up. Once they're together, bring your elbows out like wings. Don't let them collapse. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take a little step back. Turn yourself to the back. Both feet are almost pointing directly to the back of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lead with your chest. We're only going to go halfway down. Then you're going to look at a spot just above your toes. If that's okay, you can fold all the way forward, forehead to your knee. 5 breaths. Always lifting your elbows. This is a chest stretch. Inhale, push yourself up, keep your hands where they are. Turn to the front of the mat. Look up. Exhale. Same thing, halfway down. Look at a spot just above your toes. And then if that's okay, all the way down. Always lifting your elbows. Inhale. Release your hands carefully. Exhale, come to the top. To release your elbows and your chest, press your hands together and push very strongly. Good. This is where we move into the balancing poses. The last video, I showed you tree, like this. We're going to learn it the way that we do it in Ashtanga. So take that, if you want to right now, just hang out here until you get the hang of these variations. So you take your right foot, you're going to cross it over your hip, so it's way up. Then you're going to reach around with your right hand, come around the back, grab your foot. Hold on, my thumb is through my toes, and I'm hanging on to the big knuckle. If you can't grab, then don't do this. Put your foot back in tree. Otherwise, if you're hanging on, good, and off we go. Inhale, reach up, find a spot on the wall in front of you, and with your hand, draw a line from that spot all the way down, 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 down. Don't go fast. All the way with your hand. Keep following with your eyes until your hand is on the floor. 5 breaths. 4, 5. Then you're going to inhale yourself back up. So straight, bend your knee a little bit, release your hand, and now draw another line, coming back up. Hand up, look forward, exhale, release. We do that on the left. So you're either here and hanging out for the pose, or you're attempting the bind. So if you're attempting the bind, bring it up high on your hip. If you can't bind, stay right here. Don't forward fold. Just start working on grabbing your foot from behind. And you might find that one leg is easier than the other, and that's okay, we're humans. Inhale, same thing. Draw a line all the way down, slow, 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 slow. So you reach the mat, and your hand is down, straight leg, looking at your toe, 5 breaths. Inhale, bend your knee slightly. Draw yourself another line coming up. Inhale, straight. Exhale, release gently. Okay, the next set of poses. You can either do what we did in the last video, which is hold on to your knee and do them while holding onto your knee, or I would prefer that you do this with your strap. So I'm going to show you with the strap. Strap goes around the ball of your foot. And we're going to inhale this foot up, straight leg. It doesn't matter how high this leg is, as long as it's straight. Inhale, find a drishti on the wall in front of you and hold on to it like you were holding it with your hands. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Be careful not to lean back. Try to stay straight. And then inhale, open your leg to the side. Nothing changes. You can even feel this left hip. Make sure it's not moving. Hand to your hip. Inhale, 5 breaths. If that's okay, you can turn your head and look over your shoulder. Find a drishti on that side. 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Bring it back to the front. Separate your strap. Hold with 2 hands. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we do no hands. Clasp your hands underneath your thigh. Get yourself situated. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Careful not to lean back. 4, 5. Release. Good job. Not that I can see, I'm just used to saying it. Okay, left leg. Strap around the ball of your foot. Careful not to get any toes caught in there. Inhale, 5 breaths. Always careful not to lean back. If any of this is difficult, you can stand next to a wall and hold on to a wall. That's perfectly fine until you learn how to do all of this. thing, hold your right hip, check to make sure it's not spinning. 5 breaths here. 1, you can look over your shoulder. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring yourself straight forward again. 5 breaths with 2 hands. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're done with the strap. You can hold your leg. 5 breaths. Hands to your hips. Squeeze your elbows backwards. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Give yourself a little shake out there. Okay. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step, hop, jump back. Inhale, up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, try your little hop. Land lightly. Keep your knees bent. Check your feet. Big toes should be together, but the arches of your feet should be apart and your ankles should be apart. Utkatasana. Press your knees together. Remember, looking straight ahead. Keep your arms shoulder width apart. 5 breaths. Exhale, fold forward, straight legs. Inhale. Why don't you try the hop here? Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Down dog. Right foot forward. Virabhadrasana. 1, warrior. Inhale, reach up, same thing. Arms are shoulder width apart. You're looking straight ahead. 3, 4, 5. Keep your arms up. Straighten your right leg. Turn to the back of your mat. Bend your knee. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Spin your hips open to the side. You can move your back foot back a little bit if you need to. Open your arms, palms face down. You're drawing your right arm back and looking over your left hand. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Keep your arms up. Turn your feet. Turn your head, but keeping your body facing this way. 3, 4, 5. Spin your left arm down. Both hands around your right foot. Step back, plank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend your elbows. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, look up. Up dog. Exhale, down dog. And I want you to try that little hop again. But this time cross your feet and sit down. What I think is the hardest pose to learn to do is Dandasana. Get your blocks for this one. I'm going to place them both right next to your hips. Everybody complains their arms aren't long enough to do this pose. They're long enough. It's just that you're not straight enough. So start with the blocks. You're going to press your toes back toward you. In some cases, you can even think about lifting up your feet off the floor, but don't worry about that yet. Your thighs are together. You can even take your hand, reach under, and pull your flesh out from underneath so you can feel your bones on the floor. but keep those blocks next to your hips. You're going to press your hands down into the blocks, straight back, and if that seems easy, you can move them out of the way. Place your hands on the mat next to your hips, push down, almost like you're going to lift your butt off the mat, but you're not. Chin and Jalandhara lock, Uliana Bandha flying upward, and Mula Bandha squeezing your perineal muscles. 5 breaths. Everybody's favorite yoga pose. Grab your strap, place it around your both feet. Now, you start here. Your chest is what you have to think about leading with, not your head, because your head will make you collapse. You're going to think about leading with your chest and folding at your hip like a book, just closing like this, not a book closing like that. So the strap is here at the beginning to help remind you to keep your back straight and to reach with your chest. So let's just do a couple of breaths here, just to get that feeling. We have to do this 3 times. Let's count this just as our variation. So stay here if you need to. Otherwise, come on and do the variations. So we lose the strap. 2 fingers between our toes. Pull your toes back toward you. Look up, inhale, exhale. Folding forward from your hips. Keep your eyes up and your chin up. That will help you stay straight. I'm thinking about this part of me folding and not my head. Your drishti is actually up and over your feet. You're going to lift your elbows. 5 breaths. Active. This is a hard pose. 3, 4, 5. Variation number 2. You can repeat the one with your fingers, or you can reach around the outsides of your feet. Whichever one you're doing, I want you now to think about pressing your legs or your hips backward, your feet forward, and then fold over. Same thing. You're looking up over your feet. Elbows are out in a square. 3, 4, 5. Stay there, or try one of the other variations. Now you can clasp your hands around your feet. Inhale, look up, exhale, fold, same thing. Drishti is up over your feet. It's not this. It's up and over. Elbows are still bent, and you're pulling. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, release. Every pose has an opposing pose. You're going to lean back on your elbows. The variation here is to not point your toes, just relax your feet. I'm not pointing, they're just relaxed. You can stay here and just lean your head back. Feels good. And if you need more than that, then wherever your elbows were, you place your hands instead. And you're just going to press your hips up to the sky. Rest your head back. Inhale, 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower your hips down. Between every pose we do a sun salutation. You can try to do as many as you want, or leave them all out. It doesn't matter right now at the beginning, but someday you will do it. So between every single pose, you do a sun salutation. So for now, I'm just going to add them in certain places. This is one of those places. Here, I would have you cross your knees, cross your legs, so that they're crossed very high up close to your knees. Your feet are kind of under your hips. You're going to roll forward onto your hands. You're going to stand on the outsides of your feet. Take one foot back, take the other foot back. Plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, jump with your feet crossed, because you're going to land, and you're going to sit gently. Don't crash into that seated position. Okay. Then we're going to try a seated tree, and a few variations here. This has my favorite name of all the poses, Ardha Padma Paschimottanasana. Can't speak Spanish, but I can say this in Sanskrit. Just like the standing tree pose, you're going to take your right foot, cross it over your left hip. Your knee is going to come down to the floor. Your right hand is going to come back around and grab your foot. This one doesn't matter. If you can't grab your foot, that's okay. Just leave your hand out in the world. For all these forward poses, if you're not binding and you need the strap, then you have the strap. You have both hands to grab the strap with. So it works out. But we're working toward grabbing around our back, grabbing our foot. My thumb is between my toes. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, I'm going to fold forward so that my foot and my leg go between my ribs and my hips, pressing into all my organs. This is why you don't want to eat before you do yoga. And again, I'm looking out over my toes or at my big toe. I'm holding the outside of my foot. I'm bringing my arm into a square. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, release. So this is why I'm calling it a modified primary series, because what we're about to do is not really what happens next. So I'm just making the sequence a little bit nicer for us. So now you're going to take your foot and you are going to put it into tree against your leg. It's up as high as you can into your groin. Your knee is down to the floor. This is called Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. So again, you can use your strap and pull yourself this way, or you can inhale, reach up, and exhale, come down, folding over your left leg. You can clasp your hands, but again, drishti is forward, elbows are up and out. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, release. The next pose, Trianga Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. We're going to turn our leg out, so grab your calf, hold it out of the way of your thigh, bend your leg back behind you. I realize it'll be easier to see this on the other side. I'm really sorry. I should have done the other leg first. I wasn't thinking. So inhale, same thing. Reach up. Exhale, folding forward, reaching for your foot. This pose we tend to tip. So take your left hand, put it out beside you, and press yourself straight to your right so that both your sit bones are on the floor evenly. And you can leave that there. I actually like doing this pose like this because it does keep me nice and straight. If this is too much for your knee, then repeat Janu Shirshasana, the one that came before this. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, release. Straighten your leg, wiggle your toes, and on to the other side. Whatever you did with your right leg, you're going to do the same with your left leg. So, left foot over the top of your right hip, reach around, see if you can grab your foot. If you can, excellent. If not, don't worry about it, just reach with both hands. Inhale, reach up, exhale, fold forward. Your foot and leg go into the flesh between your ribs and your hips. Inhale and exhale, 5 breaths. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, release. Janu Shirshasana, pressing your foot into tree. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward over your leg. Should feel your belly button on your thigh. and your leg coming right up the center of your chest. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, release. Exhale. Now you'll get to see this one better. Grab the flesh, hold it up and out of the way so it doesn't get pinched. So again, if this is too much, then just repeat the last pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Again, you can press your right hand onto the floor next to you and push yourself to your left so that you stay square and straight. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. And again, we're going to do a vinyasa, a little sun salutation in between. So cross your legs high up towards your knees, feet underneath your hips. Come up on your hands and your feet. Step one foot back, the other foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And try again. Jump to a cross and sit. No crashing. And we're going to do some twists. Modified. So the first thing we're going to do is bend our right knee. I want you to take your left hand and check to make sure that you can place your left hand between your foot and your leg. They should not be together. They should be apart, one hand's length. We're only going to do the variation on this pose. We're not going to do the full pose today. So I want you to clasp your hands around your knee, and I want you to pull it in towards the right side of your chest, almost under your arm, and you're going to pull nice and strong, and you're going to look straight ahead, sitting up straight, pulling your left toes back. Good posture here. And 5. Now you are going to move your foot up against your thigh now. And you're going to place your right hand behind you. Left hand is going to go up. And we're going to twist. And you're looking back over your right shoulder. You're pressing strong with that right hand into the mat and engaging the twist by pressing your left elbow into the outside of your right leg. Variation on Marichyasana C. 5. Inhale. Look forward. Straighten your right leg. Inhale. Your left knee bends. Right hand goes down in between. Make sure that there's space. Going to clasp your left knee in your arms and pull it in towards your armpit and the side of your chest. Nice and strong. Sit up nice and straight. 5 breaths. You can practice your Mula Bandha here and your Uliana Bandha, the flying upward lock in your solar plexus. It's a good pose for it. 4, 5. Inhale, release. Bring your left foot up against your thigh. Left arm behind, nice and straight. Inhale your right arm up. Twist to the outside of your leg. Pressing nice and strong into the mat and strong into your left leg with your arm. Looking over your shoulder. The twist begins in the lower back and unravels towards the top. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, release. Same thing. Fold your legs up on your feet and your hands. 1 foot back, 1 foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, jump to cross and gently sit. Navasana, boat pose. So for right now, lean back on your sit bones. Feet are off the floor. You can reach behind your knees. You're going to sit up nice and straight. Your calves are going to be parallel to the floor, and you're holding. You're looking straight ahead, and you're counting to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess what? There's 5 of these we have to do. We're only going to do 3 today so that you can see all the variations. That's 1. You're going to do the same thing that we did before. You're going to come up and come right back down. It's going to start the same way. We're going to let go this time. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross your other leg over the top this time, and hands now down to your sides and lift up a little bit. Exhale. Come back down. Begin the same. This time, see if you can straighten. Let go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross. Pull nice and tight. Release your stomach. Roll forward. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Come to seated. Padahastasana, butterfly, or bound angle pose is what it really means. Feet together. You're going to have them as close in as you can. Your hands clasp around them. Arms are straight and strong. Back is straight. Mula Bandha, root lock. Uliana Bandha, flying upward lock. Jalandhara Bandha. You're looking down at your nose. 5 breaths. 4, 5. If that pose is easy, you got to find a way to make it hard. So don't get lazy in that pose. You can move your feet out just a little bit to accommodate the next one. You're going to take your feet, you're going to open them like a book. So the soles of your feet are facing the ceiling. This is very important to open your hips on this one. And then we're going to inhale, look up, and exhale, chest to feet, not head to floor, chest to feet. Your elbows press into your thighs. You can relax your head a little bit and look down at the mat. As long as your chest is touching your feet, you can go all the way down. Press into your thighs with your elbows. 4, 5. Inhale. Come on up. Again, we are linking today because we're doing a modified series. Fingers into your toes again. Rock back onto your sit bones. You can stay here in balance. This is the variation. Or Upavishta Konasana. Wide angle. Look up. Goddess pose. And when you're in this pose, you can say, I'm vulnerable, but I'm ready for anything life has for me. I'm strong and I'm capable. And by the time you give yourself that affirmation, the pose is over. Bring your feet down gently. So, the temptation is to walk your arms this way. That's fine in the beginning, but you should be reaching for your feet, which means they can't be so far apart that you can't reach them. And you are going to press your butt backwards, your chest forward, and you're going to lead with your chest. I often close my eyes in this pose so that I don't look around and I don't see how close I am to the floor because I don't want to know. Chin to the floor, not forehead. Chest. 3, 4, 5. Variations, you can hang on to your calves, your thighs. If you had 2 straps, you could do it with 2 straps, but it's better to do it without so that you learn that the motion comes from your hips, not your arms. Your arms can be here. It's all about your hips folding. Good, let's do a vinyasa. So cross your legs, up, step, step, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, up to there. Okay. I think that the best thing to do next is to go back onto our backs. Grab your strap again. These are better poses. And since I learned in the other poses that I should probably start with my left leg first, it only took me the entire series to figure it out. I'm going to do this one with the left so you can see it first. So, all the way down to your back, you're going to raise your right leg, hook your strap around the ball of your foot, just like the standing pose. You're going to lift your head a little bit off the mat. Place your right hand down on your right thigh and press it down to the mat. You don't want it to come up or display or anything. You want it to be nice and straight. So this leg only comes up as high as you can keep the right leg straight. So we're inhaling, looking at our toes, 5 breaths, 3, 4, 5. Like the standing pose. Now you're going to hold that right, I was all backwards. That's your left leg that's down. And you're going to open out to the side, look over your other shoulder, away from your foot, holding onto your thigh. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, back to the center. 2 hands on the strap. You're going to lift your shoulders off the mat this time. Pulling with both hands, stretching that would be your left leg. Looking up. Exhale, release. Okay, so now this would be your left leg. So you're reaching that up. Grab it with the strap. Your hand is on your right thigh, pressing it down towards the floor. Inhale your head off the mat, looking at your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your foot out to the side, looking over your opposite shoulder. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring your leg back up to center. 2 hands, lifting your shoulders off the ground. Keep your lower back pressing into the floor and your toes of your extended leg on the floor reaching back towards you as well. Flexed. 4, 5. And release. We're not going to do a vinyasa here. We're going to bend our knees. And we're going to come to bridge. So, scoot your butt back or your feet a little closer till you can touch your heels. You're going to lift your hips off the floor. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you. And when you feel like you're as high as you're going to get, clasp your hands underneath. Point your pinkies. So you have a nice flat surface. And press yourself up nice and high. And you're looking kind of at your belly, just above your belly. Don't move your neck around. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, release your butt down. Now we begin the closing or finishing sequence. There are actually 3 wheel poses here. Urdhva Dhanurasana. So in fact, upside down, inverted bow is what it really is. If you said wheel in an Ashtanga class, they'd laugh at you. So just pretend I didn't say that. It's inverted bow pose. Urdhva Dhanurasana. I'm just going to do one for today. So hands, fingers underneath your shoulders. Be careful not to catch your hair. You're going to lift up to your head. Stay there for a second, get organized, and then lift. pressing strong into your arms, straight. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, come on down. You can hit pause here and do 2 more wheel poses, or 2 more bridge poses, or a wheel and a bridge, but 2 more of something right there. So when you come back, we're going to do another vinyasa. So cross your ankles, come up, step, step, exhale, inhale, exhale. Back to seated. There you go. And then we're going to do shoulder stand. So inhale over to plow. Shimmy your shoulders under you so you have a nice steady base. Walk your hands low. Get yourself comfortable here. You can hang out here, or you can lift one leg and lift the other. 15 breaths here. So basically just hang out. Feel the blood coming out of your heels and your feet and your legs. You can wiggle your feet around. Remember, this is modified, so we're not going to be as serious here. You can do all kinds of things. You can put your feet together and do butterfly. You can bring one down, up, down, up. You can cross your legs, you can cross them the other way. Just play around. Work all the juices out of your legs. And when you're finished playing there, lower them with bent hips, folding at the hips, to plow. Tops of your feet to the mat, to the floor. My mat is in the way. Hands are clasped behind you, pinky pointed straight. 3, 4, 5. Bend your knees. You can release your hands. Place your palms flat on the floor. Knees to the floor next to your ears. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, straighten your legs. Bring your hands back onto your back again, sorry. You can do a couple things here. You can cross your legs, but if you can do a lotus upside down, please do. And if you are doing lotus, put your hands underneath. Rest your legs onto your hands. Press up with your arms. 5 breaths. Urdhva Padmasana, upside down lotus. 4, 5. And then release your legs down. Clasp your hands around. Embryo pose. 3, 4, 5. And you're going to slowly roll yourself down. Now, if you have not had your feet in lotus this whole time, come back to plow. Put your hands flat on the mat and roll down slowly, like we did in the other video, until your tailbone goes between your hands. I'm now up on my elbows. My back is off the floor, and I'm just going to tip my head back and reach for the floor with it until it rests on the floor. I'm pulling my toes back and flexing them towards me. Breathing in through my nose and out gently through my mouth like I'm blowing at a candle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shimmy your hands out from underneath. We're going to hold our arms up, hands together, Lift our feet off the floor. Flying fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Bring yourself down. Rest on your elbows. Press up. And then lift your head off the floor. Don't try to get your head off the floor with the weight of your body on it because you'll hurt your neck. So make sure you have pressed into the mat before you lift your head. If you need to, reach behind your head, clasp your hands, lean back into your hands, and just give yourself a little massage. Knees to your chest. And let's do another vinyasa. Up, step, step. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And come to your knees. It's never too early to learn to do headstands. Headstand is the last thing that you do in the finishing sequence. No matter which series you've done, you'll always do headstands, which is crazy because one of the sequences has 7 headstands, and then you do this. So it seems excessive, but you've got to learn how to do them. If you know how to do a headstand, excellent. If you've never done one before, or haven't done one since you were little, we're not going to go up today. We're just going to do the preparation so that you can gain the confidence and the strength. Full disclosure, I normally practice my headstands next to the wall, even though I know how to do them, just because I get distracted and scared, and I feel like it's my prerogative. If I'm home and I want to practice next to a wall, I'm going to. But we're not going to do that right here because you don't need to. So, come to your hands and knees. Then you're going to drop down to your elbows. Clasp your arms with your hands. And that's the distance your elbows should be. That should be shoulder width. Take your hands out front. Clasp them together. Point your pinkies. If you're wearing rings, this can hurt, so you might want to take them off. Even in these variations, this gets a little painful. So, open up your hands a little bit. That's where your head is going to go. You know how babies have that soft spot on the top? That's the thing that we're going to aim for balancing on here. It's actually a little bit flatter than the rest of our skulls, so it gives us a chance to balance. It's also the crown chakra. It's also the center of gravity of our body, but we don't really think of that because we never really stand on our heads. So I don't know how much I can talk when I'm upside down, so I'll just talk right now. So you're going to stick your head into the hole, basically, and you're going to straighten your legs and walk yourself as close as you can. And you're just going to balance there. It's not a big deal. You're not going to go upside down. So this is what I'm talking about. And then step yourself back. That's it. Now, if that seems like too much right now, then you can practice these kind of planks. You can do that. You can do dolphin pose, which is basically down dog with your hands like that. But something, anything. If that was easy, then measure your distance again, clasp your hands, and you can just work on getting your feet off the floor. Now 1, 2, hang out here. And that's it. Our headstands last 25 breaths. So if you want to break it up for now, 5 breaths in plank, 5 breaths in dolphin, 5 breaths in with your head on the floor. However you want to do it, just practice something. Get that strength in your shoulders, get that confidence of where your center of gravity is. So now we hit our last vinyasa, and I always do this one standing. And I do it with a lot of kindness to say thank you to my body. Inhale, exhale, exhale, step to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Then jump to a seated position. Depending on where you were with your lotus, that's the variation you're going to do with your legs. I'm going to go full lotus here, so eventually when you're able to do it, you will just be able to do this and not any variations. Reach around, grab with your left hand, your left foot, your left toes, reach with your right hand, around to your right foot. Baddha Padmasana, bound lotus. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Head to the floor, 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Now, Padmasana. Remember, this is an active pose. Pressing the backs of your hands into your knees. All 3 bandhas. Mula Bandha, Uliana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Looking at your nose. 5 Ujjayi breaths. Inhale. Now, the last pose is Tilottama, which is a balance. Just when you think you've been able to relax, you have one more to do. We're supposed to hold this for 25 breaths. Again, I'm still working on this pose after all these years. I'm only up to 18. We're not going to do even 2 breaths today. We're just going to attempt the pose, and eventually, when you're capable of doing it 25, you won't be stuck with whatever my number was. So your hands go next to your hips. Your feet should stay in front of your arms, and you lift right off the floor. And you hold this for more Ujjayi breaths. And then you lower. So if you want to work on that, it's easier, of course, to lean forward and try to come up, but it's proper to be. You can also, my blocks are way over there and I'm kind of stuck. You could do it with blocks and it makes it a little easier to lift off, but just try it. It's fun, it's empowering, and boy, you go through the rest of your day thinking, I lifted myself up off the floor today. That was awesome. I literally levitated. So, you can unwind yourself. I'm going to leave you here. Your pose to the end here is Shavasana, which is corpse pose. And basically, it's my favorite pose. You just lay down. And your feet fall to the outside. Your hands are facing the ceiling, out to your sides a little bit. You're going to close your eyes, and you're going to stay there from 5 to 10 minutes. And you're going to relax. Don't fall asleep. Just lay there. Take stock of your body. See what is saying, that was a little too much today, lady. Or maybe there's other parts of you going, wow, I didn't know I could do that. Just observe. Don't judge. Don't praise. Just observe what your body is telling you after this practice today. When you're finished with your Shavasana, I guess if you hit pause and then come back, that would be where we are now. Cross-legged, comfortable seated pose, your hands at prayer, and you can close your eyes. And while you sit here and think about what you've just done, be thankful that you have a body that can do these things. Not everybody is capable of even being able to walk, much less do these kinds of yoga poses. So be grateful, be kind to your body, be compassionate to the changes you're going to feel. At the end of every practice, we share Namaste. Namaste is one word that means the divine light within me honors the divine light within you. Namaste.